Hey everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Quick question before we jump in. Have you ever been cheated on? Or maybe you were the one doing the cheating? Drop your story or just a yes or no down in the comments. I always read them. This video's about to get wild, so sit back, grab a drink, and enjoy the ride. Let's get into it. I should have trusted my gut. From day one, something felt off. But I ignored it, the way we all do when we want something to work out so badly that we're willing to lie to ourselves. I'm 25, and at the time, I just started seeing this girl. Let's call her Kay. She was 24, wild, impulsive, the kind of energy that pulls you in before you realize you're in too deep. From the outside, it looked like we had insane chemistry. And we did at first. We met at a party through mutual friends. She had that effortlessly chaotic charm. Black boots, chipped nails, and a laugh that made you feel like you were part of an inside joke. I wasn't looking for anything serious, but when we started talking, she told me she wasn't into hookups either, that she wanted something real, long-term. She said the right things and I, like an idiot, believed her. She told me early on that her body count was 27. I won't lie, it hit me harder than I expected. But I reminded myself that people have pasts, and I wasn't some insecure teenager anymore. So I tried to brush it off. We clicked fast. Texting all night, late-night drives, constant laughter. For the first few weeks, it was like I had found someone who understood me. That high of new love, I was riding it. Around month 3, she hit a rough patch. She told me she was being evicted, something about trust fund money running dry and mismanaged bills. She looked panicked, said she had nowhere to go. And yeah, it was fast. We'd only been dating a few months. But I didn't have the heart to let her crash on the street or with some random. So I told her she could move in with me, temporarily. That decision changed everything. First, it was good. Domestic, even. She'd leave cute notes for me in the mornings, bring back snacks she knew I liked. For a while, it actually felt like we were building something. But then the mask started to slip. She worked some low-paying job, part-time retail or something, and spent most of her nights zoned out on the couch. We'd vape, cheap wine, and TikTok for hours. She had zero motivation to change. I tried to helped her write a resume, encouraged her to apply for better work. Nothing stuck. She'd nod, pretend to listen, then go back to scrolling. I told myself she was just going through a rough time, that maybe I could be the one to help her pull it together. But the truth is, I wasn't dating a girl in a rut. I was dating a parasite. A few weeks before everything unraveled, she started acting different, distant, secretive. I'd ask where she was going, and she'd give these vague answers. Just out, meeting a friend, grabbing drinks. Sometimes she wouldn't even come home until 1 or 2 in the morning. One night, she came stumbling in at 2:17 a.m. I checked the time like a psycho because something about it all felt so wrong. Her makeup was smudged, hair messy, and her story didn't line up. Said she was at a friend's birthday. Then later said it was just a dinner with coworkers. I asked who. She shrugged. My gut was screaming. I'd never done this before in any relationship, but I asked to see her phone. Her expression froze. She hesitated, then reluctantly handed it to me, but with shaking hands. I wish I'd never looked, but I'm glad I did. I was shaking when I unlocked her phone. Not from anger. Not yet. But from that gut-wrenching sense that my entire world was about to fall apart. You know that feeling? When something inside you just knows you're about to see something you can't unsee. She had deleted most of her texts. That was the first red flag. But what she didn't know was that Snapchat leaves traces. Even if the messages disappear, the names, the streaks, they don't lie. For guys, for different male names I didn't recognize. Each one with emojis, hearts, flames. One was saved as Jay, another as Jim King. I opened the camera roll. She hadn't cleaned that out. Maybe she thought I'd never check it. Big mistake. Selfies, lingerie, thirst traps taken in our bedroom. Some clearly meant for someone else. Poses she never used with me. A few videos. One of her in the bathroom mirror, licking her lips, whispering, You wish you were here, baby. I felt my chest cave in. But that wasn't even the worst part. She had screen recorded herself FaceTiming someone. A guy with tattoos and a smug grin, while lying in my bed. He called her baby, told her he missed her mouth, and asked if the loser was home. I was the loser. Couldn't breathe. I scrolled through more, and there it was, a text from one of the guys that read, "Same time next Thursday? You were insane last week." She replied, "Only if you wear that black shirt again." Made me want to rip it off. That was the night she told me she was at her coworker's dinner. I remember because I made her lunch that day and wished her, "Have fun tonight," like a total idiot. I handed her phone back without saying a word. She looked at me, half defensive, half expecting this. "You were going through my stuff?" she asked, like I was the problem. That's when it all exploded. I stood up and just snapped. "What the actual F***CK is wrong with you?" I asked. "Who are these guys? How long has this been going on?" She rolled her eyes. Rolled her f***ing eyes star. "You're overreacting," she said. "It's not like I slept with all of them." That word, all, stuck in my head like a bullet. "So you did sleep with some of them?" Silence. Then, "It just happened." She told me she was bored, that I was emotionally distant, that she needed validation. She even tried to flip it on me. "You don't even touch me like you used to." I laughed, a short, bitter laugh, because I had done everything for her. Paid rent, covered her bills, fed her, supported her, and she repaid me by cheating with random gym rats and FaceTime flings? She started crying. Of course she did. Tears are cheap when you're cornered. I told her to pack her things and leave. She said she had nowhere to go, that she'd just stay for a few more days. I told her if she wasn't out by tomorrow, I'd throw her stuff out the window. That night I didn't sleep. I just sat in my living room, phone in hand, heart in pieces. At 3:14 a.m., she left the bedroom, still in my hoodie, and tried to sit next to me on the couch. "Can we talk?" she whispered. I didn't look at her. She leaned in and said, "It didn't mean anything. You're the one I love." The audacity. That's when I realized something brutal. She wasn't sorry. She was just sorry she got caught. The morning after I found everything on her phone, I expected her to be gone. She wasn't. Instead, she had made coffee. My coffee, the expensive ground stuff I always saved, and acted like nothing happened. She even tried to kiss me on the cheek. "I figured we could talk today," she said, smiling like this was some rough patch we could work through. I stared at her. "This isn't a fight, Kay. This is a breakup. You need to leave." She paused, blinked, and whispered, "So you're just throwing me out?" Like I hadn't just watched her text 4 different guys behind my back for months. Like I was the villain in this story. I told her flat out, "You cheated. You lied. You used me. And you think I'm the bad guy for asking you to leave." Her mood flipped instantly. Tears, shaking hands. "You don't understand," she said. "You have no idea what I've been going through. I've been depressed. I didn't even know who I was anymore." She made herself the victim in her own betrayal. Said she had trauma. That she was afraid of commitment. Felt unworthy of love. Didn't know how to cope. She claimed that cheating wasn't about me. It was about her trying to destroy herself before I could leave her. I sat there listening, numb. Because here's the thing, I wanted to believe her. That this was some temporary spiral. That maybe the girl I fell for was still in there somewhere. But the deeper she spoke, the more I realized. Every word was a manipulation. She wasn't sorry. She was scared. Not scared of losing me. Scared of losing the free ride. I told her she could stay for 2 more nights. That's it. I even gave her money for a motel after. Not because she deserved it, but because I just wanted her out of my life without more drama. She agreed. Or so I thought. That night, while I was asleep, she got back on her phone. I only found out because I heard the faint notification buzz around 3 a.m. I walked into the hallway, and she was sitting on the bathroom floor, lights off, phone in hand. I leaned against the door. "You messaging your validation again?" I asked coldly. She flinched. It's not what it looks like. But it was. It always is. I took the phone. She didn't even bother to stop me this time. There it was. Messages to two of the same guys from before, Jay and Leo from the gym. She was venting to them, telling them how toxic I was, how I was controlling, how she was trapped in my place and needed someone real. And then came the final punch in the gut. He's got money though, she wrote. Might as well stay a few more days and milk it. That was it. That was the moment something inside me snapped. I woke her up the next morning by dumping her packed suitcase on the bed. You're out. Today. She tried crying again. It didn't work. I called her an Uber myself and waited by the door like a prison guard. When the car pulled up, she stood there, arms folded, and said, "You'll regret this. Guys like you always come crawling back." I looked her dead in the eyes. "No. I'll only regret not kicking you out sooner." She left. But the worst part? It didn't end there. Because what I found a few days later made the cheating look like child's play. I thought I was done. She was gone. The apartment was quiet again, and I could finally start rebuilding my life. But pain has a way of lingering. For the next week, I lived like a ghost. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't eat properly. I barely slept. I kept replaying everything in my head. Every lie, every smile, every time she said, "I love you," while sleeping with someone else. My mind kept looping it like some sick highlight reel. But just when I thought I'd hit rock bottom, I got a message that made everything worse. It was from my best friend. Let's call him Mike. We'd known each other since high school. He was the kind of guy who always had your back. Loyal, funny, a little wild, but I trusted him more than anyone. He texted, "Hey man, there's something I need to tell you. It's about Kay." My stomach dropped. I called him immediately. His voice was shaky. "Look," he said, "I didn't know how to bring this up, and I swear I never meant to hurt you." That sentence alone was enough to tell me everything. "Just say it," I whispered. He sighed. "About 2 months ago, Kay came on to me. We were drinking after that party you didn't come to. She was flirty, real aggressive. I was drunk. I didn't mean for it to happen. But it did." Silence. "We hooked up. Once. I swear. And the next morning I felt like garbage. I told her we couldn't ever speak about it. I didn't tell you because I thought it was just a one-time mistake. But after what you told me last week, I couldn't keep it in. I didn't say a word. I just sat there, eyes burning, heart hollowed out. Mike had been in my home, sat at my table, ate my food, watched games with me, and he knew. He knew he'd slept with the girl I was in love with and still acted like nothing happened. And she looked me in the eyes every day and said she loved me, knowing full well she'd slept with my best friend. I hung up. I didn't even yell. Couldn't. I was too broken. But that wasn't even the end. Later that night, I remembered something. A few months ago, I'd received a notice from my bank. Something about a PayPal account opened in my name. I thought it was spam and ignored it. Now, with everything unraveling, I logged into my email and started digging. And there it was. An account, linked to my name and email, set up with a fake phone number. Under recent transactions, I found multiple payments, small ones, all tagged as services, digital content, exclusive access. And then the worst label of them all, premium chat. I checked the IP address associated with the logins. Came from my apartment. Kay had set up a fake PayPal under my name. She was selling something, pictures, maybe more, using my identity to receive payments from random guys online. And the email tied to the account? Her nickname and 4 hearts. This wasn't just cheating. This was identity theft, fraud, humiliation on a whole new level. She hadn't just broken my heart. She'd violated my trust, my privacy, and my name. I called my bank the next morning, froze everything, started an investigation. They asked if I wanted to press charges. I said I needed time to think, because deep down, some part of me still couldn't believe it was real. That the girl I once held at night, who cried into my chest, who told me she wanted to grow old together, had done this. And the worst part? I still missed her. That's how broken love can make you. It turns you into someone who misses the person who destroyed you. They say time heals all wounds, but they don't tell you what to do while you're still bleeding. After finding out everything, the cheating, the lies, the betrayal with my best friend, the identity theft, I was hanging by a thread. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was humiliated. I felt like I didn't even know who I was anymore. Part of me wanted to disappear. Another part wanted to burn her entire world to the ground. For days I did nothing, just stared at my ceiling. No music, no shows, just silence and the haunting echo of her voice in my head. You'll regret this. Guys like you always come crawling back. She had no idea how wrong she was. I decided to dig deeper. I reached out to one of the guys she texted, Jay. I found his Instagram through a photo she once liked when we were still together. He looked exactly how I imagined. Flashy, gym selfies, rented cars, fake lifestyle. I messaged him from a burner account. Just so you know, Kay has been sleeping with at least 4 guys at once. You're one of them. Thought you might want to get tested, bro. Did I feel bad? Not even a little. Then I went further. I gathered every screenshot, messages, photos, audio recordings, even the PayPal trail she left behind. I packaged it all neatly and chronologically into a Google Drive folder titled, What Kay Really Did, The Truth. And then I sat on it. I had everything I needed to destroy her, send it to her parents, her job, her entire friend circle, post it anonymously, let the world see who she really was. But I didn't. Not yet. Instead, I texted her one last time. I know about the PayPal. I know what you did with Mike. I know everything. You've got 48 hours to disappear from my life. If I hear your name again, if I even smell your drama near me, that folder goes public. She didn't respond, but I saw that she read it within 30 seconds. 2 days later, I got an email from PayPal. The account had been voluntarily deactivated, and just like that, she was gone. Off social media. Her number disconnected. Friends said she moved cities. I'd like to think I scared her straight, but honestly, I think she just found a new idiot to use. Weeks passed, then months, and slowly, life got quiet again. I went back to the gym, reconnected with people I'd pushed away, picked up photography again, and most importantly, I started seeing a therapist. Because as much as I wanted to forget her, the damage she left behind wasn't something I could just bury. But I learned from it. I learned that love without boundaries becomes servitude, that people who hurt you once will hurt you again, and that closure doesn't come when they apologize, it comes when you accept who they really were. Sometimes I wonder if she ever thinks about me, if she scrolls through old pictures and feels guilt. But the truth? I don't care anymore, because now I've moved on. I'm not just healed, I'm wiser. And to anyone who's been cheated on, manipulated, broken down, you will survive. And one day you'll look back and realize, they didn't break you. They revealed you. And that is your power. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more stories like this. It really helps support the channel. I appreciate every one of you. Stay safe out there, and have an amazing day. See you in the next one.